Um, but yeah, like I've been okay. I've been seeing my dietitian again from my
Yeah.
surgeon's office. She
Nice.
said I'm training too much.
Hmm. Wait, she said you're
She's like
tracking too much?
training.
Training. Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
She was like, because I had surgery, I'm putting too much pressure and stress on my body. And then I was like, you don't know what you're talking about now. Anyway. So I've cut back down on training to just
Okay.
training once a day.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah.
I still have my 1 day of rest,
Okay.
um, with just
Hmm.
like walking and stuff.
Right.
She was telling me to focus more on protein. Um,
Okay.
I do have some deficiencies, so I've started taking supplements. But yeah,
Okay.
everything's good.
Man, so the tooth, yeah, the tooth pull, and then you say you also like you had to cut back on the working out because of the surgery. Okay. Well, how's your tooth? Because I know that feeling.
It was sore.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was in pain. Like I was in pain.
Yeah.
Like the next day, I was like, I didn't go to work for 3 days after that. I was just in so much pain.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. No, I understand. I understand. And I'm glad that at least it had healed. Or at least you got it pulled out to where, you now don't have to deal with the pain. Because if it's a cavity, was it a cavity that kind of like broke down into like the root?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. And they had to pull it. All right, I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that. Have you ever like had your teeth pulled? Because that's a whole pain, man.
No, I sure haven't, but I'm getting ready to actually go to the dentist because to get my front grill worked on.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it's just that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be open and transparent is this all those years when I was drinking, I never really took care of my mouth the way I should be.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just had some issues there. I'm surprised, like, don't get me wrong, I had a back tooth that was like really, really just like excruciating pain. It was
Mm.
like, and then man, to be honest, I didn't even know how much Tylenol and stuff like that can help.
Yeah, it can
Because
help.
I was always a firm believer of, you know what I mean? I just,
Don't take
push through the
anything.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't take anything
Mhm.
and I just push through the pain. And then, man, I was like, let me get a couple of those.
Mm-mm.
And then I
Mm-mm.
tell you, I was like, holy crap, I'm over here suffering and this thing could have been helping me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm kind of dreading. I'm thinking about waiting after the holidays is
Mhm.
over to go actually go take a look and see what's up. Because, I got insurance and stuff. Might as
Nice,
well put it to work.
nice, nice, nice. That's it. And Larissa, I was gonna tell you too, because man, like y'all wouldn't believe what happened to me this week, but I would definitely say take the surgery recovery seriously because I literally almost had a friend die on me while we were on Snapchat. We were on Snapchat. She had surgery back in January. I was gonna tell all y'all this. I was actually gonna tell y'all this when she jumped in as well, but essentially she had surgery back in January and it was on her stomach. And she essentially was like doing a bunch of different stuff. She was trying to paint a home. She was like on a ladder. I think something happened and she like almost fell and then her stomach started hurting. And this was just a few days ago, but it was in January. And so what they essentially were saying was that because she had been doing so many different things, she developed ulcers on her like stomach or I guess inside of her stomach, and the ulcers started to I guess like rupture, and she started to bleed out. And so she
Did
actually
she
was
die?
she didn't die, and it's actually hard to talk about because it just happened like 2 days ago. But essentially, she didn't die, but she I was on Snapchat with her, and she started throwing up um blood. She started throwing up blood. First she was puking, then she started throwing up blood. And then I was like, what the heck is going on? And then she was like, I just think I just threw up blood. And I started to research that. And I was like, okay, is throwing up blood normal? And immediately the first thing I saw was go to the ER. Like you need to go there now. And she just tried to play it off, and she does a lot of stuff too. I think she maybe works out every now and then too. She walks a lot. And the nurses pretty much told her that if she had arrived just a few minutes like later, she would have died. And I had to keep so essentially I had to continuously like wake her up because she was trying to like fall asleep, not realizing that she was internally bleeding. But I guess it had come from her not healing all the way. and the nurses had told her like she has to stop. They were like, you have to be extra careful. And I was like, dang, that was back in June. But I guess surgery or wounds that happen inside take long. I don't really know, but I guess it takes longer. But yeah, so yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, I know for like the stomach area,
Yeah.
I think it takes a couple months
Wow.
to
Wow.
heal.
Wow. Well, that's crazy. So then I was thinking, I was like, if that was in January, I didn't understand why that necessarily, why it hadn't healed. I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that literally just almost happened, y'all. So I wanted to share that with y'all. But definitely take that process seriously because it seems like post surgery. And I know Art, you had an operation with your hand, but it just seems like post surgery, you really have to be careful to allow the body to heal in a way that I guess a normal cut or bruise wouldn't. You know. But yeah. So that was a whole thing for me throughout the week. But at the same time, man, I'm glad y'all are good too. All right, man. How's the fitness journey, man? How's everything looking the past week? Did you accomplish those goals? How's everything looking with you in regards to that?
Yeah, everything's going good. Nothing been a barrier or a roadblock or anything like that.
Yeah.
Still crushing it, hitting it
Nice.
hard, same old thing. It's a different week.
Different week. Different week, man. Different week. What's the goals for the week?
The goals for the week is just keep staying consistent, keep hitting my numbers, and that's it. Just
I
staying
love it.
consistent.
I love it. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, just taking a break when my body tells me to. Because
Come
other than
on.
that, I'm training every day. But when my body tells me like, "Hey, it's time to take a break," I take a break.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. I love it. Larissa, the goals for the week.
This coming week or last
Yeah.
week?
Yeah, this coming week.
Um, Mine will still be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure my water is
Mm-hmm.
still consuming enough water.
Okay. I see them
Um,
behind you though. That's a lot of water.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3 bottles.
Oh,
It's
okay,
not even
okay.
a
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, okay.
um. What else? I'm incorporating more protein,
Okay.
so I'm getting like protein supplements to have like protein water,
Nice. Mm.
stuff like that. Because when I was talking to my dietitian, she was like, "You need more protein.
Yeah.
You need to incorporate
Mm-hmm.
protein in your diet." Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be lessening the carbs that I've been eating.
Okay. Okay.
Um, what else am I doing? Um, but yeah, I think for me the main thing is because work has been really stressful the past week.
Yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
because of this time of the year,
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants everything,
Yep.
blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So just maintaining my mental health in the
Yeah.
midst of work and stuff.
Yeah.
That's like my other. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did they give you or do you have a certain protein goal you should be hitting?
Yeah, so I've got 120 grams a day. I should be hitting.
Mm. Okay.
All
That's not
right.
bad. That's not bad.
Where did we get those numbers from, or how'd you get those
My
numbers?
my dietitian gave it to me.
Your dietitian? All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. We got his mark. Now we got to hit.
Mm-hmm. 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 Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
why.
if you need any help with on hitting that number, like if you seem like it's kind of hard or anything, man, just reach out. I got you. 115, 125. That's like 2 shakes for me.
Let's go. Go.
Yeah, yeah, 2 shakes. I could make a 60 gram protein shake easy. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's like close to like 800 calories, but yeah, but still it's like 62 grams of protein.
Nice. Wow. That's awesome. What's going
And
on,
then
G?
even like meals, like even like
Mm-hmm.
meals,
Yeah.
like the French toast.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes to call it the anabolic French toast. Man, I guess
Yeah.
if you add protein powder and something that becomes anabolic, it just sounds real
Anabolic. Yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
remember we had this discussion, Drake. Well, anyways, but yeah, the
Yeah.
protein French toast, man.
Mm-hmm.
300 calories. It's like 60 grams of carbohydrates with like 42 grams of protein, and it's
Yeah.
like for only 300 cal. Well, I think it's like 365.
Mm-hmm.
365 calories with like 42 grams of protein. Awesome. Very easy. Tastes delicious.
That's dope. Yo, post that in the group. Post that if you,
Yeah,
yeah, you post it in the group.
like this bread right here, the Sara Lee, the whole wheat. This has 5 grams of protein each slice, so it's like 3 slices. You know what I mean? That's
Wow.
15. Or like if you have 2 sandwiches, you can eat 6 ounces of turkey,
Turkey,
and
yeah.
then next thing you know, that's like 36 plus the what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 20. That's like 52 grams of protein right there. Easy.
Wow. Wow. That's dope. And
Yeah.
G coming out with something. G coming out with something. I ain't gonna spoil nothing. I ain't say nothing, G, but I'm just saying. I know you're coming out with something that I think will help with Larissa too, because she has protein goals. So I was thinking about, yeah,
Okay.
I was like, that'll, I ain't gonna say what you think, but yeah, okay, yeah, she got something cooking, y'all. She got something
Yeah,
cooking.
so definitely, you know what I mean? You're in the right place. If you're having some hard times hitting that 125, we got you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We can make that easy. That's what I like to say. It's my job to make it easier.
Exactly. Yo, Art, please post in the group too, man. Like if you making it, like just post more, because I can tell a lot of people will need your expertise in that area. Like, please, feel free. And I just want to say that as a leader. Yeah,
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's like
absolutely.
when you can't beat 365 calories with like 42 grams of protein in a
Yeah,
meal. You just
yeah.
can't beat that. Oh, don't
Hmm.
get me wrong. It's they're egg whites too. I don't know if
Egg
you
whites. Yeah,
consume
yeah. I
egg
love egg
whites.
whites. Yep, yep.
Yeah, 4 servings of egg whites, a scoop of protein powder, and your bread. Bam, right there,
Hmm.
42 grams of protein.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I love it. We're going over fitness goals, G. So if you want to tell us if you hit yours and then what's your goals for this week as well, before we dive into the topic, we're talking about emotional eating. And I got a story
Oh,
behind
okay.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I really want to there's a story behind it. Another person that I used to talk to in my community, she told me about something, but I'll share it with y'all. But G, if you want to share your goals and, your upcoming goals.
For the week, right? It goes for like the past week that
And
just
yeah,
passed.
the past and the upcoming. So if you want to tell us if you hit your goals from the past and then what's your upcoming goals as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, this past week I went into more of a maintenance, because I
Okay.
was cutting for so long, and I'm so glad I'm in a maintenance now because I was sick and tired of like not eating like the proper food that I really need, you
Yeah.
know? Like it serves a purpose, but like I was excited to get into a maintenance.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say I'm not fully there yet because my body is just so used to the cutting portions. So it was hard for me to eat. Like I was struggling with it, but I'm
Wow.
not rushing. Like I'm giving my body time
Mhm.
because I don't want to just force myself like too much and then like my stomach hurts. Like literally, there were a few times this week my stomach was hurting because I was
Wow.
eating like, and again, it was not even like fully there yet. I'm like just slowly getting into it. My stomach was hurting. So just stuff like that. But I mean, with time, my body will get used to it again. So, but that's my goal just to for the this coming week. I mean, just keep little by little, let my body get used to what I need.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then still do cardio, strength train, typical usual goals.
Let's go. Let's go. So we out of the cut. We finally out of the cut. All right.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. There was a sad story that I was talking to with someone in my community as well. We haven't talked in a while, but she reached out to me, which made me want to talk about this and get you guys' perspective on it as well. But essentially, her mother died. And the way her mother died was her mother and her were struggling with different health problems, and essentially she wanted to do better. And when she was wanting to do better, her mother followed in her path. She in a sense set an example for her mother, but then she also stated that when life hit her in certain different ways, she would just fall off completely and go back to eating food that she just wanted to eat. And so I kind of contributed that to emotional eating, or in a sense allowing yourself to be dictated or flowed by your emotions or what life throws at you, and then having that determine what you eat. And so I kind of wanted to go into that topic because of that. But her mother also, I guess, fluctuated with what she did. So when the daughter would do better with her eating habits, the mother would do better. But then I guess at some point life hit both of them. And essentially, bless you. And essentially,
Thank you.
yeah, look, that was so obvious. I was like, damn, you went all the way down.
No, it's yeah, it's just like you know when it's coming and it's like
But we
yeah,
all saw that. It was
yeah. Thank you.
I know the bad thing about it, like my allergies are like flared up right
Oh
now.
man, I hear it too. I
It's
can
like
hear it.
horrible.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it in your nasals. I can hear you talking. But essentially, her mom
Yeah, for real.
and her mom fell off. So her mom fell off with her. But essentially, when her mom fell off this time, her mom didn't necessarily bounce back, and her mom actually ended up passing away from, I think, some complication with her health. But I hope she doesn't really blame herself. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this to my group and have us talk about emotional eating. People that run to food, or that their food or their diet gets thrown off when life throws things at them. Someone dies, they have a health issue, something happens with their finances, people run to food. So let's talk about it. I would say the first question I want to throw at you guys was, what is emotional eating? What is emotional eating to you personally, and then why? So we can start off 3 minutes, of course, each person, and we can tackle it. So whoever wants to start first. Well, ladies first, but Larissa, G.
Okay, I'll go first. So what's emotional eating? I mean, basically, like you're combining like your food with emotions. So you're like constantly like it's kind of like a seesaw, I guess, right? In
Mm,
a way. Is that the best way to describe it? But yeah, like you're just constantly like combining them. So
yeah.
whenever you're happy, and that goes to anything, like if you're happy, you're
Mm,
gonna eat a lot.
yeah.
If you're depressed, you're gonna eat a lot. But
Hmm.
then even then, that's not always the case though. I've had clients tell me when they were depressed, they would actually not eat. So there's that too. It's not always like they binge. Some people don't eat at all. They undereat because some people feel like they don't deserve food.
Yo.
And just all these emotions, right? All
Hmm.
these emotions are
Hmm.
attached to food. And at that point, I feel like most of the time it could be like any food. Like it doesn't have to be like necessarily unhealthy food. Like some people they just don't want to eat kind
Yeah.
of thing, constantly skipping meals and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and then of course, I mean, that leads to like eating disorders and stuff.
Hmm. 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 Wow.
So yeah, I would say that.
Emotional eating is a disorder, right? Wouldn't that be considered a disorder?
Um, I mean, it's not technic like emotional eating in general, like not
Mm,
really, but I mean, it could very much lead to like because the three are anorexia, binge eating, and bulimia.
yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Bulimia. Those are like diagnosed definitive disorders.
Right.
But emotional eating is kind of like, I mean, yeah. But like I mean, hey, something I always, me, like my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of people probably do have like disorders, but they just are not diagnosed. But
Yeah.
like they probably have like tendencies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people
Yeah.
have binge eating disorder, but there might not be diagnosed. So yeah, I mean, I guess
It kind of could
basically.
teeter. Yeah. Yes. It's
Yeah, you could like you're pretty much practically there.
there. Yeah.
If it's like a consistent thing, then yeah, you're
And
practically there already.
and would you say that most people, and this is anybody can answer this too, but would you say 2G that most people probably don't even realize it because it's emotional?
Well, not only do that, but I feel like it's normalized sometimes too. I feel like it's a constant like
Oh, yo, that's a
it's
whole deep.
normalized
Yeah, yeah, that's deep.
and all of them are in
Yeah,
different ways. They're all normalized.
that's deep.
So
Ooh,
it's like a lot of people, I mean, yeah, it's just so normalized too, but I don't think it's good. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
you got to own up to like, hey, like this is a problem.
wow, wow,
Because
that's
reality is you shouldn't have to go to any of those extremes, whether you're binging or skipping meals. You shouldn't have to do any of those things, period. That's a problem.
mhm. Anybody want to comment on that? Like, we can stay on that topic a bit, like the normalization of emotional eating. Larissa or Art, do y'all kind of see that as well?
Definitely. A lot of people will turn to that. You know what I mean? Like even like if you're in your feelings and stuff like that. Me personally, boredom. When I get
Ooh,
bored,
yeah,
boredom. This is just for me personally.
yeah,
Yeah, when I get bored, I just tend to want to eat, and it's like I'm not even hungry.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I'm just bored. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why not? And stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people do normalize it. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
could be a disorder, and it is a problem. And next thing you know, you done put down like 2,000 calories without even knowing. And it's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
easy. Yeah.
Facts. Facts. Larissa?
What was the question? Sorry.
Well, I had asked the first question of like essentially like what is emotional eating to you and then why? But then G kind of like diverted it into the fact that emotional eating oftentimes can be normalized. So in a sense, I was kind of asking the question of like, do you feel like it also can be normalized? And then like if so, do you feel like that's a good thing or bad thing?
Yeah, I feel like it is normalized, especially within the Pacific community, and you're really big. Um,
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, it's okay, you're big boned." No, you just fat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or your unhealthy eating habits on top of like binge eating as well.
Exactly.
Binge eating can be like from boredom and stuff, just depends on the person. But it's also it can go on two separate spectrums. Like she said, you can overeat or you don't eat at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's very normalized, especially if you don't have people around you that are going to keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And like that's a problem because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they're not going to be the ones that get you healthy. You have
Mm-hmm.
to make that decision to implement the healthy lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
changes.
Facts. Facts. Straight facts. Anybody want to comment before we move on? But that's good. So then for Larissa and Art, well, I guess Larissa, you can go. I know you answered that question that was posed to you, the second question, but then going back to the first question, what do you feel like emotional eating is to you individually, like personally, and then why? So how would you describe that?
Um, I think emotional eating is if you're going through something and then you turn to food as a coping mechanism.
Mm,
I think that's what emotional eating is. Because I used to have that
mm,
without knowing, but then I turned to training to as my
mm, mm-hmm,
um, I guess like everyone's different. If people do depend on food to cope with, and a lot of that has to do with, I feel like those who have gone through traumatic experiences,
yeah,
um, food because like when they eat good, I feel like they feel good, and then they feel better than what their situation is.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So even if it's for like a minute, they will just continue to keep turning to food.
yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And I even like I love how you even stated how you didn't notice. Like you didn't even realize that you were actually doing it. Going back to the normalization of it. I feel like a lot of people, in a sense, don't even realize the fact that they're operating off of emotion. And that's what anything, right? Like it could be an argument, it could be you could be in a relationship and it's like, y'all are like arguing back and forth, but there's emotion that are heightened. You don't even realize that you're responding off of emotion. So when you said that you didn't even realize that you were doing it, I think that's the dangerous part of it. You like not realizing the fact that you're doing it, or like you said, not having people around you that can keep you accountable. You said that too. People that can tell you, hey, you're being emotional or you're emotionally eating. Have y'all ever confronted anybody about that? Have you ever been like, do you realize that when you're like this, you turn to ice cream when you're sad? Have y'all ever told someone that?
No, but
Mhm.
the realist people that have approached me about my weight problem was my parents.
Your parents.
Um, they didn't really necessarily know that I was binge eating. I mean,
Mhm.
they called me a few times when I was binge eating
Mm.
younger. Um, and they've had to have a conversation with me because they're my parents. I'm like, ugh, yeah, whatever. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
just like brush them off. So unless
Yeah.
that person is ready to have a conversation, then no matter how many times you try and help them, they need to
Yeah.
be ready to help themselves.
Yeah. Facts. 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 I love that. I love it. All right, man. If you want to take us in as well, what's your perspective of it? How does that look to you and why? emotional eating?
Shoot, man, to be honest, it's like it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing at the same time, the way I look at it.
Okay.
You could be emotionally eating in a good way. What I would say, I'll take it one step further and be like, okay, you're emotionally eating. At least you're not turning to alcohol or any type of drugs or self-medicating elsewhere. You turn into food. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're turning to healthy food or bad food. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? But at least you're staying away from the bad stuff. But then again, it's like when you're emotionally eating in the other way, the bad way, it's like, okay, I feel sad and stuff like that. Just like how you said, I turn to ice cream and stuff like that. And next thing you know, you're like 15 to 20 pounds overweight. And it's like, hold on, we need to fix what's going on emotionally before, this stuff gets out of hand and we become, type 1, type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It could go both ways, because it'll be like, it's just say for an alcoholic, just like, you know what I mean? Myself, like if I was to just turn to food instead of turning to the alcohol, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, go for it. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like now you're turning that around, looking at the other situation. Now I'm starting to put on weight, and it's like a double-edged sword. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You gotta pick your poison. And at the end of the day, when there's a problem somewhere,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
need to find a solution on it because you're either gonna turn in the wrong direction, or next thing you know, we're gonna be health problems. So it's like we need to fix the problem of the emotion part before things get really out of hand. That's how you know what I mean. I could look at it. It's both good or bad, but either way, the problem is the emotion, and we need to figure out on that and set up stop the triggers of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would take it.
Ooh, that's good. Anybody got anything they want to say to
I
that?
think touching on what Art said, if the trauma is too much, they can't emotionally deal with it. So it's just easier for them, whatever the coping mechanism is, whether it's like drinking or like eating, especially with eating, they would pick the easier option just to cope with it, especially if they're having suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
It would probably be like too much or too painful for them to go through the emotional trauma that they're going through. And so it will take time if they don't take the necessary steps to heal. It will take even longer for them to deal with the pain.
Yeah.
And then, because obviously, like overeating, it leads to like diseases and stuff like that, like diabetes, like health conditions, and then obviously like obesity. If they're not careful. So I feel like it's like also an underlying issue that if people don't know what it is or how to deal with it, it'll take them even longer.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's essentially what I was saying too about the person I was, referring to who lost her mom. They did good while things were good, but the moment life started to become stressful, they ended up they would emotionally eat, and now her mom's dead. And so and again, I don't think she should blame herself. So if she listens to this or if she sees this, I told her that. But at the same time, you have to deal with it. You have to get that under wraps, because if you don't, it could kill you. It could be lethal to the point to where you've traded one poison for another, kind of going back to what Art said. You go from alcohol to food, but then you're like, oh, it's just food. We're good. It's just food. But the stuff they're putting in foods these days are probably just as bad as alcohol. If we think about it, or like crack, they talk about like sugar and crack and all this. Like, so, in a sense, it's like we're trading one poison for another, which then calls for us to deal with the root of the issue. Going back to what Larissa said, dealing with the root. Yeah, this is dope.
And then it could be all coming from the fears. The fear might come in there into play, and you just don't want to face the fear of trying to fix something, and the next thing you know, you either turn into food, and it's like, all right, cool, let me eat this, and then vice versa. The fear, not wanting to face anything. You know what? 9 times out of 10, when people are scared of something, they just end up falling 10 times backwards. 10 steps back.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's good. Fear. That's a big one.
And
And
it all boils down to is like having a game plan.
yeah,
Having a game plan to strategize around that. You know what I mean? When this happens, when this trigger sets off, all right, cool. All right, now we got to go to step one. All
mm-hmm.
right, to step two, and then next thing you know, you're in a better direction.
Facts, so facts. I love it. And that kind of actually bleeds into the next question. How does someone fall into this habit? I guess getting a little more specific with that. What does that look like in terms of if a person was to take a step back who's probably in it now, or a person that may be approaching that pit, how does one fall into that type of trap?